Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Skyhook, and this is the how to play video for Skyhook. So my name is Patrick Rolland, and I'm going to be taking you through, I'm going to first explain how to play Skyhook, and then I'm going to play a game with you. This is a game, you can think of it similar to bingo, where there's a leader who calls out what resource everyone is going to use, and then everyone follows. So you can actually play your first game along with me. But before we get there, let me just talk about what is in front of you, all this prettiness. So you are going to have to print out 18 cards. There's 18 different planets. Here are some of the ones we didn't use. And now you don't have to print these out, but there are also card backs. And you don't have to print these out if you're following me in this setup, because I've already set it up in the right way. But these card backs are useful if you want to set up your own game. For example, there are 3 different dark matter planets. This is a dark matter planet. This is I just have it set up here for funsies. And there's one more here. So if you want to set up your own board, this is explained in the rules. You would gather there's 4 inner planets. You're going to shuffle them up, and then you're going to put them down. Sorry, I should say you're going to put down 2 of them here. You're going to get the starting planet out. There's only one of those. You're going to shuffle up 3 different middle planets, and then deal those. 1 dark matter planet, and then and then shuffle 2 outer planets, and then just put all the rest aside. So whenever you've decided what sort of planets you want to play with, go ahead and put them out, and then play a game with me if you want. So put these aside. Now, in Skyhook, we're each going to be colonizing our own identical solar system. So we're each going to be colonizing and exploring and gathering resources and terraforming the solar system. Now, there are 3 ways to get points in this game. So the first, if you notice, is there are these cool things. There's this cool thing called dark matter. So planets farther away, so some of these planets will generate dark matter. In this case, there's just 1 planet that does. Sometimes there are extra planets that generate this stuff. But in this case, Spikes generates dark matter, and I have some cubes here to represent that. And if you can get dark matter back to your starting planet, you get 1 point for each dark matter brought back. So you can put them on shuttles. I'll explain how movement works in a little bit. But for every, if I get, 5 cubes of dark matter back by the end of the game, or 4 points, that is 4 cubes, that is 4 points. The other way, 2 other ways to get points, you get 1 point per colony. So if you colonize Mars and Crystal and Rings, that's a different way to get 4 points. And I'll explain how building works in a second. And then the last way is that each of these planets has secondary objectives. This is for terraforming. So let's say we want to terraform this planet called Dust. We would have to get 3 water, and that would be worth 1 point to us. Fairway is 2 steel for 1 point. Now there's nothing on Philia because it's already conquered. And then some of these are in the middle, and then these farther out ones tend to be a little bit more expensive. So if you get 2 titanium to this Death Moon, you get 3 points. And similar with this rock over here, it's 3 different resources: a water, a fuel, and a steel or iron, and you get another 3 points. So if you're terraforming planets by dropping off the right resources on the planets, you can also get points at the end of the game. So whichever way you do it, you want to get the most points, either by gathering dark matter and bringing it back, or by completing these secondary objectives, or by building colonies all over the place. Okay. Now let me explain. So just because we didn't cover this yet, if you haven't already, you're gonna have to, so we have the cards, you're also gonna want to print out these things called, this is called the build sheet. So this part you're gonna want to keep for reference during the game. This tells you how much everything costs. These you're gonna want to print and cut out. So I've already cut out some shuttles. These are resource pods. These are colonies with a little 1 point on them. These are skyhooks. And then we have resources. Now, just to show you, I have some cubes that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be using some blue, white, silver, black, and yellow cubes. I just find the tactile experience of cubes is better. So I'm going to be using those. And I also, for skyhooks, I just kind of think anything circular will work. So I'm just going to be putting down, those are going to be my skyhooks. If you don't have any discs or quarters or anything at home, you got skyhooks. And then I'm just going to be using meeples, again, because I just like the tactile experience. So go ahead and use meeples if you got them, or cut them out. Okay, so by now, hopefully you've printed everything. You are going to need this as reference. And then I do have a little reference I'm going to show you right here. So here's how this game is going to go. First of all, we have to decide 1 person to be what is called the system leader. Now for this game, this magical made up game that I'm playing by myself that you can play along with me later, I will be the system leader. I'm going to call out what gets done each turn, and I make sure that all the players are following along and we're all sort of in the same phase, or at a minimum on the same turn. So here's how a turn works. Everyone's going to gather resources. So the first thing is I'm going to pull a cube out of a, well, this should be an opaque bag, but I'll just not look. But there should be an opaque bag. I'm going to pull a at the start of each turn. Everyone gets this resource. They can place it on any planet they want. And it's just sort of sitting there waiting for you to use it. After that, every single shuttle and colony can generate a resource from the planet they're on. So on the very first turn on Philia, this colony is going to generate a resource, this shuttle is going to generate a resource, and this shuttle is going to generate a resource. And here's what your options are. And let me just show you these. So on your very first turn, you're going to have 3 options here. Now, once you use one of these, these are limited per turn. So once one shuttle or colony has used one of these, they're used up. So I can generate 1 water a turn, 1 fuel a turn, 1 steel a turn, and then I can't generate anything more. So if I have 2 shuttles on Mars, that's actually not that useful because I can only generate 1 titanium. On the other hand, I actually could get on Crystal, I could actually get 3 fuel out of it just by having 3 different things there. But you can never get 3 fuel out of Philia because you can only generate 1 of each of these. So each shuttle and each colony can generate 1 resource listed on the planet, but no more than what's listed here. Okay? Then we're going to move. Now, the movement is very simple. Shuttles can move 1 planet. So you can go from Philia to Mars. You can go from Mars to Crystal. You can go from Crystal to Mars. But so this would be a turn. 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 That is it for movement. However, there is one extra thing here, and that's the name of the game. You can build skyhooks. Skyhooks, you can think of them as giant slingshots that catch ships in orbit and throw them to nearby planets and asteroids and all sorts of things. So just as a real life example, or I shouldn't say real life, as what science predicts, if you can fly to Mars in 9 months, you can skyhook from Earth to Mars, or in this case, Philia to Mars, in 3 months. So to represent that in-game, movement between planets that have skyhooks. So this shuttle can go from Fairway to Philia to Mars for free, and then it could also use 1 point of movement to move to Crystal. So, or I could go all the way from Crystal, I can move first, and then free, and then stop at Fairway. So you can basically move as much as you want. You can go infinite with skyhooks as long as it's skyhook to skyhook. Skyhook to non-skyhook does nothing. So you have to have 2 skyhooks to actually use that free movement. And we do start with a skyhook on Earth. I forgot to mention that. So skyhook to skyhook is free. And then after that, you can build. So each colony and shuttle can build 1 item from, here's the build sheet. So you can build other shuttles, you can build skyhooks, you can build colonies, you can build resource pods. Now, just a quick clarification here. A shuttle and a colony are more or less the same thing. They cost slightly different resources, but they each generate a resource. They can each build a thing. The big difference is the shuttle moves and the colony never moves. Once you build it on a planet, it stays there, but it is worth a point. And then lastly, there is a thing called a resource pod. This will probably come into the game a little bit later, but it can't move on its own. It can only move via skyhook. There are some extra rules, which I can explain as we go. And then lastly, so if you're playing along with me, you don't need to worry about this, but you do need to assemble this bag. You need to have 3 steel, 2 fuel, 2 water, 2 titanium, and 1 dark matter. So let's just go ahead and start with turn 1, and we can explain the rest of the rules as we go, because I think we have enough of the grasp of the rules to get started. So we're going to go ahead and pull randomly from this bag. And the first resource is titanium. Oops, let's clear the board. Great, now we're ready to play. The first resource is titanium. So you can put this on any planet. And at this point, every single player can diverge. So every player gets a titanium. We each can use it in our own way. Now, I am actually going to put mine on Mars. And then for every shuttle and colony, we're also going to generate resources. So in this case, in the very first turn, it's going to be water, fuel, and steel. Water, fuel, and steel. So I'm just going to put these here. And now before you move, before or after you move resources between shuttles and planets freely. You cannot do so during a move. So if I'm flying all over the galaxy on a turn because I got a bunch of skyhooks, I can't drop off stuff on the go. You can only load resources before moving or after moving. So I'm going to put a, so just to give you some insight here, I'm eventually going to build a colony on Mars. That's my goal. And I want to bring a water and a steel there. So I'm going to put a water and a steel here, put a fuel on this guy. And this guy's going to go, yeah. So I've generated resources. Now I'm going to move. This shuttle is going to move 1. This shuttle, is going to move 1. I'm going to tell you one extra thing. So there's one extra rule for movement I haven't explained yet, and I'm excited to explain it now. If you have a fuel on your rocket ship, you can burn it to go farther. So you can burn 1 fuel. It has to be on your ship. It cannot be on the planet. If you have a fuel in your rocket ship, you can go 1 more space. So I'm going to burn that fuel to go to Crystal. Okay, so that is movement. There was no skyhooks. And now if I wanted, I could build. I don't have anything to build. I will, however, drop off these resources. And I'm going to keep that titanium there. Now we're going to move on to turn 2. I'm not going to look in the bag. And we get a fuel again. I don't know what to do with a fuel. I think I'm going to put it on this planet. And I am going, so now we can generate resources. So Feely is going to generate 1 resource for me because, or so I should say for everyone, Feely is going to generate 1 resource because everyone has a colony here. And then because I have ships on Mars and Crystal, I can generate 1 resource here, 1 resource here. And you can put it on the planet, on the ship, wherever you want. You can move stuff freely between them before you move. So I'm going to put the titanium here. I'm going to put the fuel here. And then I'm actually going to just put the fuel forward because I'm going to move. And do I want to move is my question. Oh, sorry, I forgot a resource here. I'm going to put a water here. Yeah, I'm going to put a water here. Okay, now do I want to move? So this shuttle is definitely going to move 1 and is going to burn a fuel to move 2 and get all the way to spikes. And this shuttle is going to stay on Mars and not move. Yep, that's it. So that's all movement. So at the end of turn 2, so we've gathered resources, we've moved, and now we're going to build. Each colony and each shuttle can build. So this shuttle is going to build, using 2 titanium, a Skyhook. Again, you can use the little cutouts if you don't have the little discs. But yeah, Skyhook costs 2 titanium, so that's what I'm going to build. And that is my turn. Let's go into turn 3. And without looking, ooh, so I got a dark matter. Now, there's one rule that I haven't explained about dark matter yet. Dark matter at any point can be used as a wild. So if I wanted to, I could just put this, I could put this on Earth, and it's it's going to be a point there at the end of the game if I don't use it. Or I can also put it on this planet here, or I could put it here, and this could be one of the resources I use to complete the secondary objective. Always decide to use this later. You don't have to, you can decide when to use it as a resource at that moment. So it's always a dark matter until you use it. I'm going to try something risky. I'm going to put it on the Death Moon. Could be a bad idea, but I'm going to try it. I'll explain my strategy a little bit later. So now generate resources. So this shuttle here is going to generate a dark matter. And I'm going to generate another steel here. And what do I want to, I guess I have to generate a titanium on Mars. Ooh, it's a little annoying. And I'm just going to put this on the ship just so I don't forget it. That's gather resources. Wow, I really need to get more colonies or more shuttles just to get more resources. I'm just thinking about what I want to do here. Actually, I'm going to leave the titanium on Mars. And I'm going to move. So this is a free movement. Not that it matters, because I can also move one. I'm just going to put this on here so I don't forget it. This shuttle is going to move to Death Moon, drop off a dark matter. And I'm just going to leave these covering. You can do this however you want. I'm just going to leave these resources here, and they're just covering this secondary objective. So I used 2 dark matter to get this really pretty valuable secondary objective here. Just, you know, not all the outer planets have such good objectives, but this one's pretty good. So I use my dark matter to do this. You do that in the build phase, is when you turn those resources. I think that's that. And then we're on to turn 4. Turn 4. Ba-da-da-ba. Ooh, okay, so I got a steel. What do I want to do with this steel? I'm going to put the steel on, I'm going to put it on Mars. No, I'm not. So I was thinking about putting this on Mars, but I already have all the stuff right here. It's going to move back there this turn. I don't need this on Mars. I might put it here on Fairway because that's an easy point. But if I'm being honest, you know, yeah, either way, I'm just gonna put it on Fairway because it's right next to Earth. That should be pretty easy to get done, I hope. Okay, so that was the resource everyone gets is the steel. Go ahead and put on whatever planet you want. And then I'm gonna generate a water on Earth. I think water is gonna be useful for some secondary objectives. So I'm gonna generate a water on Earth. Actually, I am not gonna generate a water on Earth. I'm gonna generate a steel on Earth. I'll explain that in a second. Yep, that's fine. And I'm going to generate, oh, I have a shuttle on Earth. Great, I'll also generate a fuel. You'll see my strategy this turn. And I guess I'm going to generate titanium here. Pick that up. And movement. All right, so I've generated all my resources. I'm going to move here. The shuttle's going to drop off. This shuttle is going to go here, drop off this titanium. And I think that's it for movement. Now let's go on to building. Okay, so I can build a colony on Mars. Huzzah, that's a point. And also is going to help me generate more resources. And I'm going to build a resource pod on Earth, or sorry, on Philia. Let me get my resource pod way over the side. So I'm having some trouble moving my resources back and forth. So resource pod is good just to like do these sorts of trips. So I can build stuff on Philia and move stuff back and forth and move titanium in between the planets, whatever I need to do. So that's my goal with this resource pod is might be able to shuttle some resources back and forth. And you know, Mars needs a ton of water. Maybe I can generate water and drop it off, and that's 2 points if I can get a bunch of water there. So we'll see what happens. Okay, moved. Everything moved and everything built. All right, we are on turn 5, I believe. And we get a steal. You know what? I'm gonna go for an easy point here and put it on Fairway. Now you don't need I mean, you can do this at any point. You don't actually need a shuttle here. At any point, if you get the resources, you can just claim it. So the steel got here and, you know, some random traveler started terraforming Fairway for us, great. Okay, so that's the steel. I'm gonna generate a water on Earth. It just seems very useful given the planets we have. I have a shuttle. Resource pods do not generate, they do not generate resources. They just move them around. So a shuttle and a colony. Oh, that's actually a bummer because I can only generate a max of 1 titanium here. Bummer. Ooh, but I'm gonna put both of these on the shuttle. And I'm gonna generate a dark matter here. I think I'm good generating resources. Let's go to movement. I will move here. drop off these 2 titanium. I will move here and keep everything. Wow, do I want to move? Because I could just sit on spikes one more turn. I think I'm gonna, it's just 1 point. No. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay here and generate a resource. So I'm gonna drop off, just to remind myself, I'm gonna drop off this fuel because I want to get a dark matter. Okay, so everything's moved. Sure, we'll put this here. Just remind myself I'll eventually move that water. And everything's moved. Let's build. This shuttle can build a skyhook. The shuttle can't build anything. Do the colonies want to build anything? Nope. I think we're good. All right, turn 6. We get a titanium. That is useful. I am going to put that on rings. But this is so close to being done. I'm going to put this on. Do I have enough turns to make use of this? I'm going to put this on rings. I think that's going to work. I think it's going to work. Okay, now let's generate resources. So titanium on Mars, and I'm going to put a water on Earth. Sorry, Philia, and I'm just going to put it straight on the resource pod so don't forget. You're going to generate that second dark matter. Ooh, goody. And I guess we're going to put a fuel, and yeah, let's put on this ship so it can maybe go a little bit farther or something. And that's that. Okay, movement. I'm going to move the resource pod to Mars and drop these off. This little guy is going to go to rings. This little guy is going to go to rings. And if I had a fuel, somehow I could turn it and go all the way back, but I'll wait a turn. I think I'm good there. I think that's it. All right, I'm gonna go, that's all my movement. Building, I've got nothing. Oh my gosh, all right. Let's go on to turn, I believe this is 7, I believe this is 7. We get a steal. Now I'm running out of useful things to do with steal. I can get some secondary objectives. I can build colonies. That would be, like a smart thing to do is to build a colony on these planets just to generate constant dark matter and just have the colony generate one every turn and just keep flying back and forth. But I think my best bet now is to put it on rock, and hopefully I can complete that secondary objective before the end of the game. Okay, generate resources. I'm gonna put a water on Philia. Great. And I'm gonna put a titanium on Mars, useful. And I'm gonna put each titanium on this, just so I don't forget. Oh, so I'm gonna put a titanium on rings. I'm gonna put a fuel also on rings, and maybe we can do something useful with it. Boy. So some planets have fuel as a secondary objective. None of ours do, but some planets have fuel as a secondary objective because I'm not really using it efficiently. That's that. Movement. All right, so I can move one. Skyhook, 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 skyhook. 2 points. This little guy is going to go to crystal and drop these off. This little guy, I think, actually makes the most sense to fly to spikes. Oh boy. I'm just not sure what's the right order to like build stuff and pick stuff up. And I think it's actually makes the most sense to fly to spikes, drop off the fuel. He moved. All right, we're good. That's it. All right. Turn 8. Wow, this game is coming. By the way, there's 10 turns in the game. Once this bag runs out of resources, the game ends. Turn 8. All right, we get a fuel. I'm definitely gonna put that on the rock. I can't do anything useful with it. Hopefully you're doing some, you could build more resource pods. That's another use, or more shuttles if you're smart. Usually I build another shuttle, but for whatever reason I haven't this game. I'm gonna put a All right, okay, so we put the fuel there. Let's generate regular resources. I'm gonna put a water on Earth. That's a pretty easy win. I'm gonna put a titanium on Mars. Great. Resource pod does nothing. Shuttle, generate that dark matter. And that's all the generating. Yep, all right. So let's go on to movement. So I'm gonna put 2 water. No, I'm not. I'm gonna leave that to the resource pod. This little guy is gonna go, so it's gonna skyhook, all the way to, and then move regularly to rings. This resource pod is gonna come all the way back to Philia. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna put water on it so I can move there next turn. That guy's gonna sit there. Yep. Yep. I think that's it. I really wish I built more shuttles. Normally I have 3, maybe 4 shuttles, and I've been focusing on secondary objectives and not doing so great. All right. Turn not, oh wait, did we, oh, building. I got too excited, I moved everything. Building a Skyhook, lovely. All right, so now turn 9. So I got water, put it on a rock. That's all the 3 resources I need there. I think 3 points for that. Generating a resource here. Great, I'm gonna put those on here so I don't forget. Generating and titanium here, good. Actually, that's great because I can do some cool stuff. And I guess the titanium here. And okay, so water's gonna go there. I don't know what I should build. I could build an iron. If I could get 2 iron here, magic. Ooh, a watered and iron. I might just be able to do this. So I think if I build an iron, I might be able to do something with it. Maybe. Okay. Everything is generated resources. So let's do movement. So regular move, skyhook, woohoo! All right, so that's a total of 4 dark matter, goodie. This guy's gonna go out here, and it's gonna build a skyhook in a minute. And nothing there. Oh, this guy's gonna go to Mars. Yeah, I got all the water to Mars. All right, we can terraform that boy. And shoot. I think that's it. Oh, yeah, okay, great. So that's all my movements. At the end of the turn, I'm gonna build a skyhook here. Lovely, I can finally get my resource pod out there if I really wanted. Last turn. Turn 10. We get a water. That is convenient. I'm gonna put it on rings. And let's generate resources before I forget. So generate dark matter, putting that on the ship, obviously. Generating a titanium. Bummer, wish I could do something with it. Generating, it doesn't matter. I can, steel, yeah, just steel is gonna need to get there. That's all I need to do. Is there any other secondary objectives? Oh, a second steel. No, there's no way I can do it. No, I can do it, but I'll feel better pretending to get halfway to another objective. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and I was generating. Oh, wait, I generated 1 steel. I forgot what I did. I should have generated 2 things. I don't know if I did that. You can go back in the video, but I should have generated 1 for the shuttle, 1 for the colony. I maybe did that. Shoot. Either way, I don't think it matters because there's no way I can get 2 steel here and 1 steel here with 1 ship. If I had the resource pod back, I might have been able to do it. Okay, I'm gonna load this up. Sure, bring the titanium somewhere. Bring it back to Earth or something. And let's go all the way back. Woo! Skyhook. Let's go all the way to, sure, we'll do this one. And this doesn't matter, but we'll fly all the way out here and pretend to get closer to a building on the Death Moon. And that is turn 10. So that's the game. Now we count up points. So first is dark matter. So it's the easiest to count. So I get 5 points for dark matter. Remember, they have to be on your home planet. They can't just be spread out anywhere. Then we count up colonies. So, okay, 2. So I'm at a total of 7. 5 points for dark matter, 2 for colonies. And then I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wow. Another 10 with, wow, these are really high. We happen to get the 2 really high point ones out here. So I got 10. Oh, sorry. Yeah. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. So 10, 15, 17 points. So if you got 17 points, you tied me. If you got more than 17 points, you beat me. If you got less, then you lose. So whoever wins is going to be, you know, the galactic governor or whatever you want to call it. And then we play another game or play a different game or do whatever. And that, my friends, is Skyhook. By the way, based on real science. I'll try to link to another YouTube video in the comments about how Skyhooks work, because they are theoretically possible. We just haven't built one yet. So thank you for playing with me. I hope you enjoyed. If you have questions, please let me know, because I'd be very happy to answer them. And have a good night. Bye-bye.